Now, I was so we're back with more 100 line. So I admit we could just go. I was thinking about just going back to the wheel, like, because
Just force feed.
let let me just show the wheel real quick. Yeah, because of the fact that we can now choose a bunch of different suspects, the wheel has gotten a lot more colorful. But I thought that I was thinking about the case before and about who killed Shoma, like on day 75, and I like and I think I figured it out. And it's like if this is true, then I'm gonna be so proud of myself if about this. Oh wait, I should probably I should,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. 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 So I'm either gonna be making a big fool of myself or um. So anyway. So anyway. So so here's how it happened. Like here's how I think it happened. So first, like all right. So we know the killer, or we know that there were 100 of those like balloons that are very sturdy and make 10 liter that can make 10 liter or have like filled with 10 liters of air. So
Yeah.
someone used the electric air compressor in the garage or the parking lot, whatever, to inflate them. So that so doesn't have to account for lung capacity. Like so, they inflated. They brought it up to the courtyard and then inflated all those balloons. And like, then, because I mean, come on, how is anyone going to be able to carry all those inflated balloons all by themselves? Okay, they attached them to the, they attached them to, like, either they attached them to the cage, or they put them in the cage, in the cage itself, and then that used and using the power of buoyancy to to lift up the cage. How? By flooding the courtyard with the fountain, as we shown that it was able to burst it was like fill up with a lot of water really fast, like a dam and all that. So they use like so they flooded the courtyard, put the balloons in the cage, and then hence why one of the balloons was deflated in the cage with Shoma. Then when the cage flooded, the killer lifted the cage up, you because the cage kept saying said it was a ton. So if it's a metric, even if it's like a metric ton, that's still that's still enough enough buoyancy to be able to lift the cage like it was nothing, potentially. So they lifted the cage, stabbed Shoma, then put the cage back, and tried to remove all the balloons, but one was still left behind because evidence. So, and then after putting the cage back, like the hot air blasts in the courtyard dried dried the courtyard, thus making it and since the murder was happened at 4 a.m. It took a few hours, so it would take a few hours to and give some time to let the hot air let the hot air dry the dry the dry the puddles. And even if there were any puddles left over, we wouldn't notice because there's a corpse there. Now, the now for as to who could do this, person that did it had to have some way to be able to breathe underwater, some way to be underwater, and No one here has is able to breathe that long, except for one person with a tool that we gave back to her. Ava's helmet. Ava's helmet has an air tank, has an oxygen tank that can be used as a gas mask, but it might also be able to be used as a scuba helmet. For 30 minutes, he was able to be under the water with their helmet and stay and be able to breathe and continue, and even has night vision goggles or night vision mode and stuff. It's a very advanced helmet. It might even have a temple massage feature. And no one else could have used the helmet because it was made specifically for Ava. And for motive, X threatened her, just like with Shoma.
Will me.
So, the killer is Ava.
The real killer. You! Ava!
Whoa, what are you saying, Takumi? I came to the school on day 21. I couldn't have written the first threatening note or killed Gaku. That means I couldn't have been X.
Indeed.
What?
I didn't say you were X. What I said was you're the person who killed Shoma.
I did not. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was.
Shut your mouth and just watch. I'll be exposing every last detail of your criminal wrongdoings from start to finish.
Dang, Shoma, when did you get so assertive? Man. Alright, so far so good. That's a killer. Before getting to that part, we'll have to explain how the murder even took place to begin with. Shoma's dead body was found in that cage. He had been stabbed multiple times.
Huh?
That
28 stab wounds.
means you have figured out a way to get inside the cage. The door was locked, and you were the only one with the key to it. Yes, I did have the key, so you couldn't have used it. You used another way to get inside. The key lies in the design of the cage.
The design? What are you talking
The
about?
bars are soft.
The bars of the cage are actually made of very
We're
soft
just in the
material.
earth to say it.
You could totally bend and pull them apart by applying some force. Excuse me, that's a blatant lie. Yeah, those things are made up of the hardest I've ever seen. Wait, where did I get wrong? Give me a minute, I need to rethink this. I don't doubt that will change anything, but go ahead and try. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a while.
The design?
My apologies.
Okay.
But I have to see all this. This is
That cage is actually alive.
plus, who knows? Maybe somewhere out there, no one has ever done this. Never done all the wrong answers and made a video about it. So here we go. And if you tickle it under its armpits, it'll seize up and become soft and mushy.
Huh.
I had no idea. How in the world does a cage have armpits?
It somehow grew arms. Rara.
The design?
Somehow,
What are you talking about?
somehow Mr. Nezzer from VeggieTales has armpits for his elbows. So
The bottom part of the cage isn't secured in place.
it's just a heavy iron cage mounted on a base.
I don't understand.
Hire professionals.
You called in some professionals.
Yeah. I did what? The cage not being secured in place is proof of shoddy workmanship. Since it was violating all sorts of workplace regulations, you called in some professional engineers to get the cage bolted in place. Professionals workplace regulations? Wouldn't that make it hard to get into the cage? Oh, you maybe right. Yes, he must have lifted the cage up without calling. He must have lifted the cage up like a normal person without calling for anyone to help. What was that about?
It was for the funny.
Alright. Alright.
The design?
Yeah, the bottom is not secure.
Meanwhile, everyone else at
The bottom part-
runs like, what?
I don't
Oh no,
understand.
not this shit again.
That cage
Went
isn't...
inside from the bottom. Oh, wait, that's actually right. Oops.
You went inside from the bottom.
Because the cage could be lifted up. But what nonsense is this to be? How is it possible for anyone to lift such a heavy metal structure? Very true. The cage weighs about a ton. It's not something anyone can move with their bare hands. Wait, aren't you contradicting yourself right now?
You claimed I lifted it up, but now you're saying it's too heavy to be lifted? Is there even any way to do that? I would like to know what you think I did.
You use magnets. Obviously. Friggin' magnets,
You
how do they work?
used magnets.
Yeah! What? Magnet?
Ah,
You suspended a large electromagnet on the ceiling and used the magnetic force to lift up the arcade. We didn't see anything like that when we found Shoma's body. I doubt Ava could have made something like that by herself. I totally could!
The design? What?
ah.
Didn't you know the cage softens when you soak it in vinegar?
What?
You know, didn't you know that?
The design?
The bottom part of the cage is. Ah.
I don't understand. That cage isn't secured in place. What of it? That's totally irrelevant to the current discussion. Or can you use it to explain how I would have managed to get inside?
Maybe she moved the cage or something?
Ah.
Yes, that's it. You lifted the cage up and went in from below. Except that's actually the right answer.
The
But
design?
Takumi doesn't have the confidence for that at that part.
The bottom part. Ah.
I don't understand.
Okay, those two answers could be used. Could both be
The
used.
cage could simply be lifted up.
It went inside from the bottom. Nonsense is this, Takumi. How is it possible for anyone to lift up such a heavy metal structure? Very true. The cage weighs about a ton. Not something anyone can lift with their bare hands.
You claimed I lifted it up, but now you're saying it's too heavy to be lifted? Is there even any way to do that? I would like to know what you think I did.
Nothing. Okay.
The design? What?
The bottom part of. Ah.
I don't understand.
You went inside.
You claimed I lifted it up.
Telekinesis. Commanders have telekinesis, obviously.
You used telekinesis.
Telekinesis. You are an invader after all, and a commander to boot. It goes without saying that you can use superhuman abilities. If she could do that, wouldn't it have been easier for her to simply bring Shona's neck from outside the cage?
Oh.
Or just make the knife fly inside? Well, maybe she did. I don't know. Okay, fine.
The design? What?
Bottom not secured.
The bottom part of the.
I don't understand. That.
The cage could simply be lifted up.
You claimed I lifted it up.
Wait
But
and see.
You used buoyancy.
I mean, this is almost on par with Seesaw Effect. If you know, you know. That's all. Boy, although at least in that game you had to actually type it out. Like in here you just had to just flip it from a list. Like that's right. You made the courtyard a watertight space by closing off the drains, and you flooded the entire place. There's a fountain there, right? You opened its valve fully to release an enormous amount of water through the nozzles, turning it into something like an erupting geyser or open dam. You left the fountain valve wide open for a while to fill the space with water. Shoma was just there. Maybe watching, or maybe he was asleep when it all happened. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, your explanation was so outrageous I couldn't help but be amused. Excuse me, do you not know how powerful water pressure can be? Even if we assume water is released into the environment after covering up any openings, some would still leak out because those walls would be under constant pressure from the force of water. No, that wouldn't happen. Because this place was designed. Because the courtyard was originally designed for a certain special purpose.
Special purpose? What special purpose?
A race of gigantic humans!
This place was a
Breaking
diaper
Ava.
of sorts for a
What?
race of gigantic humans.
What?
Ah!
It's capable of absorbing any sort of substance elimination without a single wing! Are you serious?
Oh.
That means water
Takumi,
would.
what logic are you trolling on about, boy?
That means water wouldn't accumulate either. And where are you getting this race of gigantic humans crap? Have all the time in the world, but you're still not wrong because I'm not the killer.
Special purpose? What?
Deep sea research.
This place was a gigantic pool to be used for deep sea research.
Ignore the grass and plants.
Ah,
It was designed to be able to withstand atmospheric pressures many times
Just a bunch
Earth's
of moss.
range. That's what Tsubasa said. Huh? I never said anything like that. Come on, Tsubasa, just play along.
I had this bit going on,
Special?
Tsubasa. You ruined
What
it.
special purpose? Now you're just talking nonsense.
No answer, you're simply making things up then. Huh? Wait, what did I get wrong? Give me a minute. I need to rethink this. You can have all the time in the world, but okay.
Special purpose? What's...
this place was a biotope to be used for space development research.
It was designed to be able to withstand atmospheric pressures many times Earth's range. That's what Tsubasa said. Yeah, that's right. Right. And that's why it's impossible for water pressure to cause any leaks. After a while, the place becomes cave filled with water. Considering the water flow of that fountain, it probably took about 3 hours for water to rise to the top of the cage. Shoma was killed at 4 a.m. Counting back from that time brings us to 1 a.m. for the approximate time the water started accumulating. You're right, the entire cage is made of iron. It literally weighs a ton, you said so yourself.
It wouldn't shift around simply from being submerged in water. Buoyancy doesn't work that way. How could anyone have lifted up a heavy iron structure like that?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Mayhap someone inflated the rice cakes or Shoma was carrying around? Rice cakes? It is but a rumor that had reached my ears once upon a time. Rumors that Sir Shoma's backpack was filled with rice cakes. Of course, that's it! Many inflated rice cakes would have point force to be reckoned with. Yeah, if you're reaching for Yoshiko's explanation, you're losing.
Special purpose?
This place was a biotope.
It wouldn't shift around simply from being submerged
Oily
in
rubber balloons.
By using 100 oily rubber balloons.
Oily rubber balloons. Why did it have to be oily? Because oil is less dense than water and floats on top of it. Still, they would have to be inflated beforehand for that maneuver to work.
What is this boy trolling on about?
special purpose.
You know, if it, you know, they
This place
really should have
was a
made it so that you get
biotope
an alternate
used for
ending and you
space
get the
development
answer wrong.
research.
Yeah.
Because
It wouldn't shift around simply from being submerged.
party rubber balloons. Very slow.
By using a tardy rubber balloon of enormous size.
Party rubber balloon? I think I get a balloon with a delayed reaction. It inflates itself after a certain amount of time has passed. Yes, they even put it inside the hard-head, and then when it blew up, it blasted the cage high to the sky, and she used that time to slip in. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you ain't fooling
Special.
anyone, Samito.
What special
This place.
It wouldn't shift around simply from being submerged.
Dirty rubber balloons.
By using sturdy rubber balloons.
This is why I gave my summation for this, because I knew I was going to keep getting the answers wrong. So I just like this. So I wanted to at least make it clear that I already had a theory at least, like before going about it. Rubber balloons, ones that can be filled with air, up to the capacity of about 10 liters. You inflate 100 of these balloons and put them into the cage. To be more precise, you put the deflated balloons into the cage first before inflating them. Archimedes' principle states that upward buoyancy force is equal to the weight of displaced water. In fact, he said Eureka and ran out of the bath, out of town, or downtown, like right after his bath, or if it was in the middle of.
On.
It was in the middle of his bath, and he, that's why he was in the. Yeah. Anyway, 100 balloons that hold a 10-liter equals 100 or 1,000 kilograms. In other words, the effect is 1 ton of upward force. I guess metric ton. That cancels out the weight of the cage and reduces it to near zero. You barely need to use a single finger to lift them. You were easily able to lift the cage with just the slightest effort. 110-liter rubber balloon? That's just not. It would be impossible for me to inflate so many balloons in such a short time. How could anyone have done that? More than likely, use a certain tool.
A certain tool. Well, what tool was it then? What exactly could be used to inflate that many balloons so quickly?
Why aren't you saying anything? Hold on, I need a moment to think. The equation of state for gaseous bodies is PV equal nRT. So wait, that. And you thought science would never be used outside of school?
And it's getting science before the classroom.
Special purpose?
I like that it just kind of shows that Togumi is
This place
class smarter than he gives himself credit for. He actually
It wouldn't shift around simply
remembered
from
all
being
this.
submerged.
by using sturdy rubber balloons.
One second we lifted. And, yeah.
A certain tool.
Yeast.
Ugh.
You used yeast.
Yeah, yeast. Yeast? I'm sorry, what has yeast got to do with anything? I guess yeast, expands, so...
I'm gonna go on a limb and say Takumi's
Special
brains on one work on that one.
This place was a bot.
It wouldn't shift around simply from being submerged in. A certain tool.
Gamma rays, obviously.
You used
Where would
lots
you even get
and
gamma rays from
lots
around
of
here?
gamma rays.
In space.
Huh.
Huh. Did gamma rays inflate balloons?
Not without frying it.
Just
Special
grabbing random
purpose?
words and hoping that it would work.
This place
It wouldn't shift around simply from being.
by you.
A certain tool.
Higher pump.
The bicycle tire pump in the parking lot. It's an electric air compressor.
Yeah. It's mounted on wheels and can easily be moved here. Using that would make it a literal breeze to fill up all this balloon. You'd have to, it would still take a while.
Wait, wouldn't it short circuit when it got to the water?
That's why, that's why she put it away before that. Before the water. Balloons were inflated first, and then the water was put in. Method does make it possible for the cage to be lifted up while it was submerged in water. Don't you find it strange? If the cage had been underwater for that long, Shoma would have drowned inside. Yet the revivomatic state had caused death was as hemorrhagic shock.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out? If your deduction holds true, Shoma would have drowned to death before he was stabbed.
He held his breath, obviously.
No one holds their
He
breath
must
for
have
that
held
long.
his breath like his life depended on it.
Because it did.
He must have.
The world record for holding one's breath underwater is 24 minutes. That's more than enough time for you to lift up the cage, slip inside, and then. Although, I'm impressed that someone's able to do that. But also, how do you do that? How do you do that without, without dying? Like, do you just have people on standby and be like, uh-oh, he's going unconscious. Or do you just know your own
Unless
limits?
you got an air tank on standby, that's the part you don't.
Wait, that record was made after the person breathed in pure oxygen first, right? Oh, right. You're not. We saw signs that Shoma struggled like crazy at the time. He wouldn't have lasted more than a few minutes, even if he held his breath. Yes, that's right. That's what I was about to say. Please stop wasting my time.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out? If your deduction holds true, Shoma would have drowned to death before he was stabbed.
Can I answer? Can I conclude that I won this argument then?
Yes.
Whose side are wait, what did I get wrong? Like, whose side are you on anyway? Never mind. I already know the answer.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events?
I can press the wrong button.
It was a misinput, Jack. It was a misinput.
Also impressive considering I had to press it twice. I just didn't. I'm so confident I was pressing the right button.
Doesn't that conflict with
The left
the
button. He breathed an air balloon, obviously.
Shoma likely breathed the air that was in the balloon.
You mean he untied them?
Huh?
All while trying desperately to stay afloat? I've heard of more simple miracles.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out? If your deduction holds true, Shoma would have drowned.
The cage wasn't completely submerged.
The water only had to stop just below the topmost part of the cage for it to work.
Huh?
Discharging water equal to the volume of the cage itself created a buoyant force needed. Shoma kept his head above the water surface and breathed through his mouth. Maybe he breathed through his nose too. I don't know. Like gasping the air for the whole time. You took this opportunity to lift up the cage while underwater, slip inside, and stab it multiple times. What happened to the water in the courtyard after that? You opened the drainage walls to drain it away.
Then the courtyard should have still been wet when we discovered Shoma's body. But was it wet? No, not at all.
Projection mapping.
Just like you said,
that
the
got to do
courtyard
with it?
should have been drenched. And it was.
They used a projection mapping device to display the environment of a hot, arid location. Really, this is just unacceptable. Do you truly believe a mere visual projection can distract everyone from noticing a thoroughly wet floor? I mean, there was a body there.
But wasn't discovered.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out?
The cage wasn't completely submerged.
Then the courtyard, but
But, well, the fact remains the place was filled with water. Wait, where did
The
it get?
water in question.
doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you...
The cage was.
Then the courtyard should have still been wet when we
Nobody noticed.
Just like you said, the courtyard should have been drenched. And it was.
We were all too distracted by Shoma's dead body. We never noticed all the changes in our surroundings. Now, that's not a reasonable conclusion. If the whole place had been wet that wet, someone would have been bound and noticed. I'm surprised no one else chimed in and be like, what the frick do you think? How oblivious do you think we are?
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events?
The cage.
Then the courtyard should have still been wet when we discovered...
Hot air blasts.
You used blasts of hot air to dry the place up.
What? I mentioned just now that this courtyard was originally created as a biotope for space development research. Because of that, it's perfectly capable of reproducing a desert environment, which means it has the ability to blast hot wind around the area. After draining the water away, you activated that setting to dry the courtyard. Due to the lack of time, however, the water didn't dry up completely. When we first discovered Shoma's body, it was actually still somewhat damp. It was dry enough, though. Plus we were all distracted by Shoma's dead body. That's why we failed to notice the remaining wetness in the area. The only thing we did notice was that Shoma's body was damp. Fine, I understand that this sucks. Let me summarize what you were trying to say. I went underwater, I lifted the cage, and stabbed Shoma multiple times while he was gasping for air on the surface. Then I dove underwater again and turned up the valve handle to open the drainage valve. Look, Takumi, I'm either a diver nor a mermaid. Like, even if I was an expert at holding my
A
breath.
regular person would struggle to do even one of the things you're accusing me of. And underwater at that. It's all completely unrealistic.
I mean, yes, it is unrealistic, but that's what happened.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events?
The cage wasn't completely
Then the courtyard should have still been wet.
You used.
A regular person would struggle to do even one of the things you're accusing me.
You have gills.
No. It's absolutely possible.
As long as you breathe through your gills. I already told you I'm not a mermaid. But mermaids breathe through their lungs.
I wish.
They do? I think I cares about that.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you...
The cave.
Then the courtyard should have still been...
You used black.
A regular person would struggle to do even...
Pure willpower.
No. It's absolutely possible. Ah!
Like, through sheer willpower.
Are you taking this seriously at all, Takumi?
You sure is a
No.
you sure is a boomer's bootstrap mindset.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you...
The cage wasn't.
Then the courtyard should have still been...
You used black.
A regular person would struggle to do even one of the things...
No. It's absolutely possible.
You used your mask, Ava. Tsubasa told me about it. There's a miniature air tank in your mask. It allows you to use it as a sealed gas mask. You can breathe up for up to 30 minutes using it like that. Yeah, I did say that. I never thought it would work underwater, though. Yeah, that might have been the one thing that you had to take a chance on. If, or the only thing we had no confirmation about is that whether or not it was able to be used underwater. Because we just all we do is use it as a gas mask.
Yes, I remember now. My mask did have a function like that, but someone stole it from me. That person must be the real killer. Yes, that has to be it. I know I am right.
But you told me.
You've been cornered and you know it, Ava. Just admit that you're the one behind this. Your mask was unique. It's custom made to fit a specific shape. According to Tsubasa, you're the only one who can wear it. You were right, Ava. This isn't a crime that a regular person could have committed. Only a diver, mermaid, or someone with that particular mask could have done it. Ergo, the person who could wear that particular mask is the culprit. And only one person in this world can put on that mask. That person is standing right in front of me. It's none other than you, Ava! You're the only one who could have killed Shoma!
No! 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 No!
I mean, you're right. I killed Shoma. The method and flow events were as you deduced. I have nothing to add. But have I really done something wrong? I too had been threatened by X. I had no choice. When did you meet X? A while before 1 a.m. on day 51. Just before the murder, I heard a knock on my door. And you opened it. Yes. Why? I thought that it might be X outside the door did flash through my mind briefly. I am not part of the SDU, and I wasn't even here when you saw the threatening note. I just assumed I could not have been on X's radar. Well, what did X say?
I have the remote detonator that will trigger the bomb inside your body. Here it is, in case you think I'm lying. I'm going to give you some instructions now, but you don't have much time. Follow my orders quickly, or else. Should you go against me, or tell the others about my existence, I will detonate the bomb in your body immediately.
Wait, what's going on? How did X get the hands of the detonator? Maybe they stole it from one of us? No, X said they obtained it through the proper channels from Tsubasa herself. No. Yeah, she duplicated the device and gave a copy to everyone. And we're 100% sure that X is one of us. No, I think you could remove me from the list. I passed the first detonator a year ago and never got it back, and haven't received a duplicate from Tsubasa yet. That is fair, so Takumi shall be taken off the list as suspects. Everyone else started scrutinizing each other with great suspicion, not daring to even move their bodies, only their eyes. Hey, Eva, just one thing. X said they'd blow you up if you told the others about it, right? Yeah. And that's what you're doing now. You're feeling okay? Why hasn't X blown you up yet? I believe they could if they wanted to. The device is small enough to fit in the palm of someone's hand. It could be hidden in a sleeve on their chest or around the waist, and no one would notice. It would be easy to simply press the button at the opportune moment, but X cannot do that for one particular reason. And like that, do you remember what I told you about the bomb mechanism before? Yes, I remember. Anyone standing within a 25-yard radius at the time will be blown to smithereens. 25 makes the blast diameter the length of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Basically the length of this entire courtyard. That's why the X isn't pressing the button. Because they'll be caught in the blast as well. And it's not like they can simply run away. Such action is good as admitting you are X. X got their hands tied, eh? This is the perfect opportunity for us to get more information about X from Ava. Since they can't blow her up, we can't ask her anything. We can ask her anything we want. Great idea. Ava, do you know anything about X, their height, body shape? They were dressed in the same outfit Shoma previously described and used a voice changer as well, so it was not possible to discern who they were by looks and voice split. But
Actually, I figured out who X is.
figure that out by their mannerisms. You know how some people will subconsciously touch their chin or play with their hair when thinking about something? Those sort of mannerisms, they tried really hard to hide it, of course, but I still managed to pick up on them. Who was that?
All right, I will tell you. X is. The real identity of X is.
Let the dread wash over me. My mind started working overtime as I went through all the possibilities. Maybe X would really press the button now? Maybe everyone thinks X won't do it because that would mean blowing themselves up as well. But if their identity was revealed, it would mean the end for them anyway. They might even prefer to die with everyone in the blast over being caught and imprisoned. But in that case, why weren't they pressing the button now before Ava could reveal their identity? Were they banking on the possibility that Ava might say the wrong name? If she did, X could just sit back and watch the show without doing anything. If she really said X's real name, they could always press the button at that time. Surely that's why X was adopting a wait-and-see attitude right now. It might be dangerous for Ava to say the name out loud. Even if she got it right, everyone would die anyway. Still, I might be overthinking things. X could just be hesitating simply because they were afraid to die. What should I do? There's literally no time to hesitate any longer. My final decision was...
Shut Ava up. I mean, I won.
She's won then. Hey, Millie.
Bye.
Decided to let Ayla finish her sentence without interruption. However, she stayed silent. She stayed silent after that and refused to say another word. What's the matter, Lady Ava? F got your tongue? Or do you actually not know who X is? Then why'd you pretend like you do? And he was questioning Ava suddenly. She smirked and let out a chuckle, looking as if she was mocking us. When I saw her expression, this truth dawned on me. Of course, you're afraid, right? You're afraid to die. Even if you were forced to do so by X, you were still the one to kill Shoma. That's an unforgivable.
that you thought to yourself, I'm going to be thrown in the cage again. This time they're never going to let me out. Why should I stay then? I'll blow myself up and take everyone in the SDU with me. But you were afraid to face death. You never had that courage to begin with. So you decided to leave it in the hands of X, right? The act of pressing the button to activate the bomb. Oh, that's why you lied about knowing X's identity. Sorry, that beats you're going along with us all this time was just an act. When you said you hated Veshnes, was that a lie too? So you could gain our trusted gather intel while hiding in plain sight? Eva said nothing in response. Her lips didn't move for a second. Something else did. Her hands. Yeah. It's on her left hand pinky. My body moved before my mind did. I exploded into action and dashed over to Ava at breakneck speed. I grabbed her left wrist and shouted loudly.
Get away, everyone!
At that, everyone made a mad scramble for the exit. Like right after that, Ava grabbed my shoulder and forced me to face her. As I did, she raised up. I saw a raised foot and I found myself being kicked away. I landed near the exit where there were 5 other people. They had just reached the gate and were not yet outside. The other 5 had rushed the exit on the other side and were about the same distance away as well. I quickly stood up and looked at Ava's direction. She pinched her left little finger and said,
Is this the courage you said I didn't have?
She pulled on her left little finger without a trace of hesitation.
There!
Up and at 'em, troops! Time to rise and shine! Wow! It's finally your 80th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy! We have just 20 days left! The end is really in sight now! Just a bit longer until humanity is saved! Work together to protect the school and humanity, okay?
Day 80. I was already so used to waking up and finding out that I missed a bunch of days that I was more surprised by the fact I was somehow still alive. Come to think of it, I seem to recall someone pulling me back with great force before the explosion. That could be why I survived. I wonder who saved me. I didn't see who it was, but I remember it was a lavender fragrance. Yuriko. I could think of that later. Is everyone okay? I stood up from the makeshift bed and pulled out the curtain divider and stepped outside. And then... Oh hey, it's Vlad. What do you mean Tsubasa and Moko are gone? Exactly what I meant. They were both missing when I woke up. You were the last 3 on watch, right? Yes, but halfway through my shift I felt a little pain in my neck, like something had pricked me. Someone must have jabbed me with that stolen anesthetic, but because I blacked out immediately. And when you woke up, they were both gone. That's what I've been trying to say! It was at the point that everyone finally noticed I was awake. So Takumi, I see you've decided to rejoin the land of the living. 5 days ago. Pretty fast, all things considered. Yeah, hey, shouldn't we be looking for Tsubasa and Moko? Yes, that's the 9 of us here. We'll split into groups of 3. After some discussion, we decided on the following groups. Group 1, me, Nozomi, Darumi. Like Group 2, Takamaru, Kurara, Kyoshika. Group 3, Hiroko, Yukam. Let's go find them. And thus, we embarked on the search for Tsubasa and Moko. We visited every place in the school to see if we could find any traces of them. However... they're nowhere to be found. It's already been an hour since we started looking. Then we heard a strange voice coming from the school. Bad news! See, Takumi and Takamaru, can you hear me? So come to the parking lot right now. Like, right now. Then. We gave the other knowing glance before rushing to farewell. Uh-oh. Takamaru's team was already at the parking lot by the time we arrived. There were a few trees near the parking lot. Hiroko and Takamaru's team were staring agape at something near the top of them. Red started to pool in the pit of my stomach. I started slowly and cautiously to look in the direction of their stares. What I saw was... Oh,
No! No! How?
It was clear that they were both dead. Blood drained from my face and I felt sick to my bone. Oh no, 5 of my friends are dead. I didn't know how my heart wasn't breaking apart. Somehow I held myself together and said...
Help me lower them to the ground and move them to the infirmary.
Maybe check their backs to see if their hearts are still there. Subject.
Birth
Suppository.
Ava Nelvoco. What is this?
Cause of death, hemorrhagic shock. Estimated time of death, day 80, between 5 and 8 a.m. Multiple stab wounds to the chest and abdomen. Murder weapon is likely a sharp blade 8 inches long. Too much time passed since death. Insufficient crypt glow and impossible to revive. Oko Mujiro.
28 stab wounds.
Cause death, hemorrhagic shock. Same thing. Lacerated carotid artery. The murder weapon is most likely a sharp blade of unknown length. Too much time has passed. Insufficient cryptic blood grown. After everyone had a chance to view the monitor, the moon in the room stared only with me. We suddenly moved their body to the morgue. Bodies to the morgue, yeah. Hey, do you mind if I mention something? It's something I noticed about Tsubasa's back. Got her heart stolen like the others. Wait, how do you know about the hearts being stolen? I decided it was not something worth hiding and told them about it. Ah, right. But I don't think the cases are related. Neither of them had their backs cut open. Then what is it you wanted to tell us about Tsubasa's back? I noticed the hem of her blouse hitched up while we were moving your body just now. Remove the sheet that was covering it. Turned over the body and pulled the blouse up so we could all see the strange things on her back. Two? I think so. Could be a Z or an N as well. I don't know. The mark is small enough to be completely covered by a hand. Not located in the center, but more toward the left side of that spine. It's indeed curious. The purplish color makes it even look like a bruise. What could this number mean? Nobody had an answer to that. We checked Moko's back as well, but there were no markings at all. Little one that looked like a number. Okay. After that, we turned them both back around, closed our eyes, and put our hands together to prepare us back. Nozomi clung onto Moko's body and wept bitterly. Her anguish chokes and sobs reverberated throughout the hushed morgue. Night soon fell, and when bedtime approached, Kurara suddenly brought something up. I found this in Tsubasa's base. Can you guys take a look at it? The organic life detection device. 9, same as the number of people here. Ain't about time you just showed your hand, X. You're one of us here, ain't you? A criminal in their wrong mind would have to come forward to identify themselves when asked. How about this, X? Fess up that we promised not to throw your sick little into jail. Come on, help us out here. Yeah. Are we only talking to X right now? Okay, what? X instructed someone to kill Kako and Shoma. What if it was the same this time? Hey, don't you go putting weird ideas in my head. You're basically saying there are 2 killers among us. Whatever the case, we should probably be sleeping together. I agree. X should still have some of that anesthetic anesthesia left. Their option is to increase the number of people on watch, but it's probably safer for everyone to just sleep in their own rooms. What do you think, Takumi? I folded my arms across my chest and thought long and hard about it. Going back to sleeping in our rooms would be the better option at this point. On the condition that nobody opens their door until the morning announcement. Are we clear on that? Not even if you have to use the bathroom. Like, empty out well before then.
Up and Adam troops, time to rise and shine!
Bathroom, then bed.
Get ready for your 81st day of active service here at Last Defense Academy! Prepare to spend another day enduring the unendurable and suffering the insufferable to pave the way for you. Be ready to give your lives to protect our beloved school from the vile and barbaric enemy!
I didn't black out despite having gone through so many stressful events yesterday. Like, I didn't know why. It wasn't like I'd been cured of the fainting disease. Or was he? During the day, we split up into groups to investigate the deaths of Tsubasa and Moko. But we didn't find a single clue. Soon, the sun started setting. Darkness took over.
At ease, soldiers. You never know when the invaders might attack, so rest. Well then.
It's happened right after bedtime announcement had played. Sound of the doorbell showed was it X, were they here to get me? Those thoughts raced through my mind as I gingerly made my way to the door, over the door, and I was greeted by a familiar voice from the other side. I know what you're thinking, Takumi. Maybe Hiroko is X, right? But you would be wrong. I am not X. Yeah, you say that, but just listen to me. I need to tell you something. You are likely innocent because you did not have the detonator for Ava's bomb. For that reason, I trust you and want to tell you something I remember. What is it? I'm going to the morgue now. If you trust me, meet me there. I will be waiting for you. I heard the sound of her clacking heels getting softer and softer until it went completely silent. What should I do? I don't believe Hiroko's X, but...
That's what they all say.
I hid my infuser under my clothes as a precaution and ran directly to the morgue. Well, alright. Like, I have never met an idiot as stupendously naive as you. Did you even consider what would happen if I really been X? Said you weren't? Only that gullible idiot would believe a potential suspect is not a bloodthirsty serial killer simply because they said so. In my teeth of frustration that said, anyway, what is this thing you wanted to you remembered? That I am X. Hiroko walked over to Tsubasa's dead body without a word. She stopped in front of the body and removed the sheet. She turned the body over before lifting the blouse up. It's that strange number we saw yesterday. What about it? This is her livor mortis code. Livor mortis code? It's a unique number that appears on the back of all SDU members when they lose almost all of their cryptoglobin. Only those from Team 1 have this. Where did you hear about this? That is a 3-day-long story I could tell you another time. All I can tell you now is that it is a very reliable piece of information. She moved to Shoma's body next, removing the sheet covering him. He flipped his body around so that his back was facing up. Oh! The hole... Okay, so the hole is covering up the rigor mortis code.
Oh.
Like, do we need those numbers in order to activate the distress signal then? Number 2? Yes, I believe X must have done this. But when? We've been moving in groups ever since he died. Well, they're just one sliver of opportunity X could have taken advantage of. What's that? When Ava self-destructed. Everyone got caught in the blast and were knocked out. It was the next morning by the time we'd regained consciousness. X must have woken up sooner than the rest of us, and... that's oddly convenient. Hiroko showed me Eido and Gaku's back, my cavities next. Finally, she could turn Kako's body over. I have 4 cases on hand. Every wound is the same shape. X used the same method to remove their hearts from their bodies. It seems that way. What do you see when you look at this wound? Well, the outline is rather clearly defined, like they were cut open with a scalpel or something. Oh, I get it now. In the exact location that has to be it, the part of their backs with the livor mortis code had been cut out. Well done. Is it the same for Moko? Haven't you been listening? The livor mortis code only shows up for those from Team 1. Moko's from Team 2. Naturally, her back is code-free. After saying that, Hiroko returned the bodies to their original positions. So the killer is specifically going after Team 1.
Because they want that code.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's because they do not want us to learn of their existence. If the bodies were left in their original state, somebody was bound to notice the code sooner or later. So they cut out the part with the code out in order to keep them hidden. Why dig out the hearts too? Most likely a red herring. Think about it. What would be the first thing to come to your mind if you saw that multiple bodies had only a certain part of their backs cut? I would think there had to be something on their bodies as well. You see, now you're getting it. Like, you would think X is targeting something invisible on that part of their bodies, right? And what would you do with that information? What am I supposed to do? For example, I would cut out that part of my body before X could get their hands on it, or cover it with something like a tattoo or a soaring dragon. X would likely be highly inconvenienced if we did that. That is why they took out the heart as well. They wanted us to believe their target was not that patch of skin on our backs, but the hearts in our bodies. That's why X did that.
Though that still leaves us with one question. That I'll explain later. You see, X's objective was to with knowledge of the later Mortis codes. Our current hypothesis is that X cut out that particular part of the skin, not because they were avid skin collectors, but simply to stop us from knowing about the existence of the codes. But if that's true, why set up the red herring? Because if X's objective was only to know what the codes were, they could have simply gotten rid of the bodies once they saw it. They could have tossed the bodies into the wildfire, buried them in the forest, yet X did none of these things. Why? I'm not sure, but maybe they need the bodies to be left in the morgue for some reason. You think so too? Yes, X clearly wanted to leave the bodies here. But by doing so, it would allow us to find out about the existence of the later Mortis codes. That is why we went to this trouble of setting up such a complicated red herring, removing the skin and hearts of those already dead. So the question is, why does X want the bodies preserved? That's what I'm trying to find out. Let's put that aside and now talk about something else. Why does X want to know what the liver mortis codes are? It has to do with the distress signals transmitter the boy with the undying flame talking about. We recently found out there's something called a distress signals transmitter somewhere in the school. It was put here in the event of all but one member of Team 1 dying. Once the correct series of codes had been entered into the transmitter, it would acknowledge the distress signal. I know. The correct series of codes he mentioned it must refer to the liver mortis codes. Yes, there are 10 people on Team 1, entering 9 of our codes will stop in the race rescue draft, because knowing the liver mortis codes of 9 people indicates that 9 people have entered total death. Means the complete cessation of life. In this state, a person is impossible to revive. Okay, but how did you come across all this information? Same way I came across the previous information, by remembering them. Oh, the 3-day-long story you were talking about? Yes, I'll explain further when the time is more on our side. For now, our priority is to identify X. Her remembering about the time loops, got it. Do you understand now? Do you understand why I said X's objective is to find out the liver mortis codes? Since X is trying to summon the rescue craft, it's very likely so that they can leave the school by itself. Which also means X already knows where the distress signal transmitter is located. Because the liver mortis codes would be useless otherwise. That is a logical line of reasoning. Keep going. If we find the distress signal transmitter ourselves, we may find a clue to X's identity, but not as deeply on the words. That is why I'm going to start looking for the distress signal transmitter now. It's almost midnight. What are you, 5? All right. So it's either one of people from Team 1 or one of the people from Team, but basically anyone. Like, because it's one of the. Eric and I ran around the school all night in search of a distress signal transmitter. We found nothing in the end. If we're not in our rooms for the morning announcement, the others may suspect us of being X. Yes, we should call it a day from now. And guessing your girl is about to finish her sentence. Rara?
Nail edge.
Hide yourself. The world? Need the rule that we should never go anywhere alone, remember? So why is Karara wandering around by herself then? I should mention it. You were out around the corner in the hallway to see where Karara was going. She quickly vanished in the direction of the staircase. At a foot, the floor above us slowly became softer and softer until we heard the roof door closing. And there was silence. We went upstairs. I mean, we are on the ground floor. She just came from that staircase. Why would she come down the stairs just to go up again? Maybe she didn't come down the stairs. Are you saying? We started investigating the area around the staircase, groping around the wall surfaces to see if we could find anything. And then...
What is this?
What?
A secret door.
Hello, door.
Oh!
Let's see what's inside.
Yes.
It's very rusted. What the heck? I haven't seen this door before. Behind the door was a staircase leading down into the pitch
Kudara
darkness.
didn't come downstairs.
She came up from here.
So, at the end of this staircase...
Yes. There's something to be discovered for sure. Let's go see.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen this in any other timelines, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, we definitely never seen this.
Okay, yeah, I know.
This place is I can't believe we are still discovering new places in the school on day 82.
Huh?
It's freezing in here. Around funny jokes made the heat in the room sort of shrivel up and die. I don't recall making any jokes. There's a device of some sort in the middle of the room. Check it out. Wait. Hiroko and I approached the device instead of the display mark. It's showing every word from Team 1. That's what I think it is? There's a user manual source in the bottom left part of the screen which read, Distress Signal Transmitter. Enter the liver mortis codes of each SDU member in the blank spaces on the screen, and a distress signal is transmitted when 9 correct codes are entered. However, should a single incorrect code be entered, poison gas will be released from the tank behind the device. This is a special gas designed to instantly dissolve all types of physical objects. Neither a gas mask nor a biohazard suit will offer any sort of protection against it. You have been warned. So literally, the only way to ever type all of these is if everyone else dies.
Oh.
That this is the Distress Signal Transmitter we are looking for. It's been here the whole time. A major discovery. In my excitement, I started looking around the other areas of the room. The next moment, I felt my blood going cold. I saw something I hadn't noticed initially because of my attention had been going to the device. An object in a corner of the room. No, that wasn't an object. It wasn't. That was... Kurara. Kurara Osazuki's dead body.
Wait. What?
We just saw... Huh?
He just walked upstairs. How can she be here? Unless
A killer...
she's possessed.
Or a killer disguise.
We have to take her to the infirmary.
Don't bother. A dead body doesn't freeze up that badly within an hour or so.
So, she's been dead for a long time?
You have eyes? Can you not see? This is definitely Kurara Osazuki. I know because I've seen her real face before. The one beneath her usual tomato head mask.
So... Who's been Kurara...
Who's been Tomato Head all this time?
I've seen her
If
face
that's the
before
real
too.
Osazuki.
On that note, do you remember who we just crossed paths with?
Yes. Someone dressed like Kurara.
But the real Kurara is here, which means...
The real...
Who the heck was that?
That we just saw as
One
an
thing is
imposter.
for sure. That person is none other than X themselves.
Yeah. If they're still wearing that disguise, then we got them. Oh! Story lock. You have arrived at Story Lock 3. You will not be able to progress without meeting certain conditions. We're exploring other branches for now. Unlock conditions reach Story Lock 2. Welp!
Back in Story Lock.
The conditions to unlock Story Lock 1 have been met. Oh!
Oh.
Oh, now we can...
Now we can unlock this.